Welcome, listeners, but take heed. We will say whatever we need to share our knowledge, thoughts, and joy, and even things that do annoy. So join us now, but be aware, we have a tendency to swear. We'll dial it back a little bit.
But frankly, we don't give a shit.
Welcome to For Fawkes Sake's first episode of Potterheads A History. First in more than one way. One is that it's been quite some time since we've been able to record a bonus episode like this, so it's definitely the first in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, this is our very first Potterheads A History under the new name.
Which is significantly less of a new name now, if that tells you how long it's been.
Seriously. But since these episodes are special for our patrons, we know you all know that I'm Ellen.
And I'm Katie. This episode topic was chosen by none other than Ashley, no E, who will also be joining us for the discussion.
Hi, Ashley No E here. I chose the topic of the four founders because they really intrigue me on why they started Hogwarts and their personal ambitions.
Dig that.
Love it.
Deep dive. Let's do this.
Yeah. And we know from the book series that according to Professor Binns, Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, Salazar Slytherin, and Rowena Ravenclaw built this castle together far from prying Muggle eyes. For the most part, they all worked together, creating Hogwarts in harmony, but then Salazar Slytherin is why we can't have nice things and had to go and mess that all up. It was more just his troubling views on Muggles in the wizarding world that kind of caused the rift.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and stop side-eyeing me about this right now. Like,
to be fair, I'm only side-eyeing you because you're in my seat and I'm in your seat and the direction has changed and it's weird.
it is very weird.
Katie's headphones were too short to reach from the computer so that we could both hear Ashley to her normal seat. So we had to flip-flop and it is odd.
It's like living in the upside down.
Yeah.
Like, we're in mirror world and I don't like it.
She's also talking through a red microphone and I'm talking through a green microphone.
Stop reminding me, man. This is... Ugh.
It is odd.
I don't like it.
Why don't we start talking about the founders?
I think that's a good call.
So who did you want to start with, Ashley?
We can start with Godric Gryffindor.
I think that makes sense as
Yeah, why does that make sense?
the book clearly put those as the most important for the sake of the story.
I mean, for the sake of the story, yes. Fine.
I am disclaimering that it is for the sake of the story.
Because his ego is the biggest.
Yes.
You know what? I am sure that has a lot to do with it as well.
I'm telling you, being in front of this red microphone, I'm just feeling like...
Feisty.
I'm feisty. I'm like, ooh, center of attention. That's me. That's how I'm feeling right now.
It's a real thing.
I'm understanding a lot more about you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is odd. I don't know if I like it.
You'll get used to it.
I hope not.
As the Sorting Hat said, you might belong in Gryffindor, where dwell the brave of heart. Their daring, nerve, and chivalry set Gryffindors apart. And I do think it was very chivalrous of me to give you my seat so you didn't have to stretch really awkwardly across the table.
Is that what we're playing now? Okay. All right. Meanwhile, let's just say this was a lot of words to say Gryffindors have poor impulse control and are like roid raging 24/7.
I mean, admittedly, that is a weakness. It manifests most in me if you put chocolate in front of me.
Yeah, you are quite the fiend.
Oh my god, I can't stop. Buckeyes are the worst. You put a Buckeye in front of me? No, it can't just be one. When I make Buckeyes every Christmas, I keep them all in my fridge and I give some away as gifts. And every time I walk past my fridge, I'll grab like 3. I'll end up eating like 9 in a day. And I don't make them small. They're like golf ball sized.
That's a big fucking Buckeye.
They're delicious and they make me happy. And I'm not allowed to make them any other time but Christmas.
Actually, do you know what a Buckeye is?
No.
No? Okay. This is an Ohio thing because we're the Buckeye state.
Yes. So a Buckeye is, actually it's poisonous. Nut from a tree.
Like the real
Buckeye.
Not the kind she makes. That makes her sound like a psychotic killer, which
love
that's me.
Psychotic. It's the Slytherin chair. I'm over here.
It must be.
But they are these nuts that are actually poisonous, and they're a dark brown, but they have a lighter tan circle on them. So a Buckeye that you eat, that because we were talking
It's
about
a candy.
chocolate,
Yeah.
it is a peanut butter ball dipped in chocolate.
And it looks like
But you leave
Buckeye
the top
nut, yeah.
circle of the peanut butter showing, so it looks like a Buckeye.
Mm-hmm.
But they are not poisonous unless you're an asshole. They're delicious.
I mean, I have a sensitivity to peanut butter, so they're a little poisonous to me. So it's a sad life I lead. I used to love peanut butter. But anyway.
That's depressing.
It's very sad.
I am like, my heart's breaking for you right now. What?
I can have a tiny bit of peanut butter. Any more than that and I get nauseous.
So a serving of peanut butter is supposed to be 2 tablespoons, and I'll drop like 4 into a small bowl of vanilla ice cream. And it's just my favorite.
My favorite used to be, I used to melt peanut butter, just straight peanut butter, and then pour it on top of a brownie.
Oh, God, yeah.
That used to be my go-to. I loved it. Oh.
What's
do
your
it
over
anymore.
or under on peanut butter, Ashley?
I love peanut butter. I can just kind of.
Right with a spoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to, man. I used to. Damn that age. At least I can still eat meat, I guess.
That's something.
So far. Doesn't give me the gout. I don't know.
So
I
let's
don't-
talk about
let's-
Gryffindor.
Can we talk about the houses now and the founders?
Impulse control.
We have none.
Right. So what you got for us, Ashley? We know you did some research.
I did. My research consisted of this beautiful brain in YouTube.
You know what? It's pretty top tier research.
Top drawer indeed.
Maybe not for a college essay, but for a podcast.
I don't recall us being a college, so.
For Fawkes Sake University at your service.
Oh, Lord. Never let us be in charge of your education. Unless it's about Harry Potter. Then yes, I guess. We can do that.
Yeah, that's literally what we're doing. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so about Godric, I found out that he was born in 10th century Britain in Godric's Hollow. Obviously, they named it after him because he's fancy. That he's an excellent duelist with wand and sword. So that's pretty fancy of him. All the founders were actually childhood friends, but him and Salazar were particularly close.
Besties.
That explains us. Boy, I hope that's not telling in any way.
Indicative
Yes.
of our future.
Oh no, hopefully history doesn't
Well,
repeat.
the thing is, you're not a shitty Slytherin, so...
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Goodness. Aw.
Man, bar is low for you. You're not shitty. Aw, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I mean,
That's
we talked about this yesterday. Keep the bar low, then everything is an upshot.
if you tell me I'm not something negative instead of telling me I'm something positive, it's a compliment I can accept.
It is. You're not the shittiest person alive. Oh my gosh.
Thanks, guys.
You are so sweet.
Right in the fields.
Right in the. Oh my god. My little Grinch heart just grew 3 sizes.
Grinch heart makes sense. It's green.
See?
Not the mic, though.
Oh, why? That was rude. Don't remind me.
And I like to mention that all the founders, pretty much around the same age and grew up during the same time. But Slytherin was the only one that developed that extreme hatred towards Muggles. I wrote that though they lived during the same time during Muggle persecution, Gryffindor didn't seek to retaliate against the Muggles.
Kind of makes me wonder what happened to Slytherin.
Yeah, I feel like there had to have been a turning point of some kind.
Because, Muggles tortured Dumbledore's sister, and that's why his dad went completely crazy and attacked them and got arrested for it.
Yeah. But
So
that didn't
maybe.
But that didn't turn Dumbledore against Muggles. I mean,
No, but it was his dad.
No, I know,
that
but
witnessed it.
that's what I'm saying. Different people react different ways to
But it's
different things.
saying, did something specifically happen to Slytherin?
Dumbledore almost did.
He was kind of going a weird way
Mhm.
for a hot minute there.
Yeah, definitely some interesting influence going on in him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he was trying to persecute muggles, though. He was just trying to uplift wizards.
Yeah. But still, it does make you wonder what did happen to Slytherin
Yeah.
to make him feel that way when Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff were just like, no, we're cool. Like,
It's
that's all
fine.
good.
Kind of makes me think it was something specific.
Mm-hmm.
How far away is oppression from prosecution?
That's a good point.
Very true. Who knows? It's very interesting. Also, side note, I kind of want to know what Godric's Hollow was called when he was born, because, I mean, it wasn't Godric's Hollow then. It was,
It was just the hollow.
it was the Hollow. Like, and how long after he was born did they rename it? I'm just,
Maybe after Hogwarts got started up and he became famous.
probably, that would make sense.
Maybe even after he died.
Yeah. Maybe he was the only person to be born there, or the first person to be born there. So they were like, we shall call this Godric's Hollow. Who knows?
Good thing he did some cool stuff.
Right?
Right?
Be very awkward otherwise.
No, I'm inclined to think they changed the name of the village after he passed.
Probably. In memoriam, if you
Yeah.
will. Yeah. Okay.
Born here, lived here his whole life. The hollow is now Godric's Hollow.
Yeah. I like that. Headcanon accepted.
Also, the sorting hat was his. It was his hat. Though all the founders did help in bewitching and enchanting the hat to do the talking, it was his.
Yeah, he just took it right off his head.
Huh.
Yeah.
I have an idea. When we're all gone.
The most interesting thought coming to my head about that is the fact that the hat, like, is still pretty in decent shape after being there since the fucking 10th century.
Magic.
Like, I mean, I get magic, but even magic, I feel like eventually there's gonna be wear and tear. You're sitting it on a kid's head every...
I'm pretty sure that's why they have a teacher there. Set it down, pick it up.
Right, yeah. Probably.
Reparo.
Yeah. Probably delouse it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's really interesting, though. That there was just his hat, and he was just like...
I have an idea.
Yeah.
My hat is off to you.
Like, we need a way to separate the children into random groups.
So do you think they started separating the kids because they couldn't agree on who to take in, right? That's what we kind of got information-wise?
Well, my YouTuber said he said they used to do it by hand, like interviewing kids, and it would take forever.
Oh.
Got lazy. So
Yeah, I imagine so.
Do you think that they would interview them in front of the whole school?
oh, that'd be so petty.
Right.
I could just see Salazar like, oh hell no, this one ain't mine.
Helga, come get your child. Come get this little shit. This is not mine. No.
It's like picking for the kickball team. You've got Gryffindor and Slytherin that are picking all of them first.
Well, really, actually,
And then they're kind of like, no, this one's too brainy. And Rowena's just like, mine.
but actually, that's kind of the thing. Is like it would be Gryffindor, Slytherin, and Ravenclaw are the team captains, and Hufflepuff is too. But she's like just chilling back, and she's just hanging out. And then at the end, like she sees all the misfits left over, she's like,
Mine.
I'll take the rest.
Mine. Literally.
Exactly. See what I did there?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it.
Mm-hmm. So basically, Hogwarts started as a game of dodgeball, is
Yes.
what I'm getting.
Or kickball. Some kind of ball game.
A ball, something with balls. Moving on.
They do like multiple balls in their games, so.
They do. They do. Who doesn't love multiple balls?
Sports ball.
Sports ball. Gotta love sports ball.
You are getting really weird in the Gryffindor chair.
I am. I told you, dude.
But tell us more about Godric Gryffindor, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Before Katie becomes him.
I have a hat. I'm wearing it.
Is it green?
It's gray. But that's okay. That goes with my Slytherin-ness.
Slytherinness.
That's what I said. I'm not going back on it. So, Gryffindor, let's hear it.
Yeah, what he's most known for, especially for movie watchers, is the sword of Gryffindor.
He would.
Yeah. He's like, oh, he's a duelist. He would kind of like do both. Like maybe he like just if he was losing a sword fight, he would just kind of like whip out the wand and twiggly. Double jack someone up.
Wand in one hand, sword in the other.
Right?
Maybe he was ambidextrous.
He was he dueled dually.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was a duel.
But I think it said that he would use the wand for wizards and witches, obviously, and he would use the sword when he would duel muggles. I still would think that's just like it's not a good advantage to have over a muggle. You shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying?
Right, that's not a fair fight.
I'm kind of curious why he was dueling muggles.
Well, it's the early 1900s. Do they duel back then?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah, because I mean, that was a while ago. That was a hot minute ago. Things
900s.
Yeah, 900s. Yeah.
Yeah.
We hadn't even gotten into quadruple digits yet.
Nope.
Shit.
Still triple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he actually commissioned the goblins to make that sword for him.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of got a little played.
Them goblins.
Yeah, he had Ragnuk make it.
Mm-hmm.
And the rumor is that it was so beautiful, the goblin decided that he wanted to keep it. So he tried to take it back and accuse Godric Gryffindor of stealing it, which apparently didn't really work out since we know that he still had the sword.
Yeah.
And all of the goblins think that Gryffindor stole it.
Okay, but hear me out. It literally had his name on it.
He could have been the one to put his name on it.
True, but I mean, I feel like there's a certain way, because it's goblin made, you have to do a certain thing to it. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, he stole that sword from me. Really? Because it literally has his name on it.
They probably could have swung it like he commissioned it for us and he never paid, so.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
We also know from Bill that the goblins consider the payment from wizards for the things that they make for them to be more like renting the item, and that it should go back to the makers who are the true owners.
Mm-hmm.
But humans love to keep things and pass them down along the line. And Bill did specifically tell us that the goblins view that as theft. So maybe the rumor isn't quite what we thought it was.
Yeah.
And he made him the sword and then expected to get it back. But yeah, so maybe when Gryffindor died, he expected to get it back and then didn't, and so therefore started telling everybody that he kept it or stole it or whatever, and that's just what started the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like a little bit of both, because there's definitely two sides to every story.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. We don't know what the original agreement was.
Right.
That could have been it. I mean, who knows? It's very interesting.
Were you going to say something about enchanting the sorting hat to produce the sword, Ashley?
Yes, as we all know, in Chamber of Secrets, we saw it in first-hand action. And this wasn't known amongst all the founders. It's kind of like each of them did some type of weird one-off thing that only one would know about. We're not even going to talk about right now what's the fucking dungeon. But
What?
We'll get there.
Give it time.
But Godric enchanted the sorting hat to produce the sword whenever a Gryffindor was in dire need, a true Gryffindor. I don't know how you could be a fake one, but still.
Maybe that implies that somebody like Snape could have gotten it to appear to him because he should have been in Gryffindor. Like, even Dumbledore said that he thinks they sorted too soon. So maybe it's like what's in your heart, and you don't actually have to have been sorted in the house.
One thing about the sorting that I always was interested in was the fact that it's also not necessarily the traits that are most present in the person, but they're the traits that the person
most values. Yeah.
Which is how you explain someone like Crabbe or Goyle getting into Slytherin when they're fucking stupid as shit.
They're definitely not cunning. They are ambitious, though. Granted, their ambition is more like, I want to be a henchman.
Exactly.
But it's ambition.
But yeah, it's not necessarily the things that they are, but like what they want to be.
What they think matters.
Yeah, what they think matters. And so it's kind of interesting that really you could be, theoretically, in another house.
But be a true Gryffindor.
But be a true Gryffindor at the same time.
And therefore, if you need it, the sword of Gryffindor might appear to you.
Yeah.
Does it have to be through the hat? I was kind of under the impression that it would just appear when in need. Somehow.
I think it's kind of like the pulls the rabbit out of the hat thing. Kind of like...
Oh, like the whole magic idea, you know? Like a stereotypical magic trick.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's how Godric was able to keep the goblins from keeping the sword. Because, like, if they did manage to steal it back, maybe every time somebody needed it, a Gryffindor needed it, it would just reappear through the hat, and the goblins would be like, damn it again!
Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't that essentially what happened in Deathly Hallows?
Yeah.
Because Griphook took the sword, and he fucked off with it. But then Neville
reappeared
in the hat.
For Neville,
so it couldn't have been in two places at once. So I mean,
absolutely think that Ragnarok managed to get the sword back from Godric because it was so pretty and he wanted it.
But Godric had already enchanted it to be like, hold up, I got this get out clause right here.
Yep, that's what I think happened.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm loving the fact that we're only on Gryffindor, and I already have so many new headcanons right now. I am massively a fan of this.
But yeah, it's pretty great. We got quite a few new headcanons.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we will get some about the next founder as well. Who are we moving on to?
Salazar Slytherin.
Oh, yeah. That's my boy. Or perhaps in Slytherin, you'll make real friends. Those cunning folk use any means to achieve their ends. That's right.
Is it?
I mean, when I've taken my meds, I get it done eventually.
It is amazing how that doesn't sound bad until you realize that you can use that for bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
for sure.
Slytherins get their shit done.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they need, and they know how to get there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound bad because it rhymes.
Is that the rule we use?
You put rhymes on things, it immediately sounds sweet. Unless, of course, you have a kid say it, then it just gets creepy.
It does. But you know what? A lot of things kids say is creepy, so.
Or perhaps in Slytherin.
No, please don't. Please don't. Stop. Stop.
Those cunning
Stop.
folk
Stop.
use any
Ellen.
means to achieve their ends.
I hate you right now. So much.
Maybe we just think about stuff differently, because when I hear somebody will do anything to achieve something, I'm like, oh, you cheating son of a...
I mean, that is part of anything.
I'm not above it.
Okay, you wrote the answers on your hand at school?
No.
Says the woman who took her notes from a YouTube video.
No. Whoa.
Oh, ma'am.
No, see, I used to go up and act like I had a question for the teacher and then try to sneak a peek at the answer sheet, which I did once and I got caught, but you know what? I lied. And
Smooth.
I didn't. Never got in trouble for it. I was suspected. Never got in trouble.
Don't get caught.
But I never did it again after that because I got I did have guilt. We do feel guilt occasionally. Okay, yeah, it was more anxiety at getting caught again. But that's not the point. Not the point. It was guilt, okay? I felt bad.
Anyway, tell us more about Slytherin, Ashley.
Well, he was actually born in Scotland. I put question marks because it's not really sure.
Yeah.
I think it'd have been kind of cool if he had a little Scottish accent. Um, we all
Aw.
know that he was heavily prejudiced against Muggles, and I would, kind of petition that it had to be during his childhood for him to be, feeling so strongly about it as
Mm-hmm.
an adult.
Yeah, something happened to him during his
Formative
formative years.
for sure. There had to have been a trauma somewhere. Like, hate isn't just born; it's learned, it's taught.
Yeah.
So there had to have been something going on.
'Tis developed.
Not that makes it okay.
No, not at all.
Obviously, not that it makes it okay. It's just,
According to the article that was posted on Pottermore, which is now the Wizarding Worlds, Slytherin's discrimination was originally considered really unusual and misguided, because the majority of wizards accepted Muggleborns and even considered them to be particularly gifted. Like, you don't come from wizard stock and you're this good at magic? Wow.
Mm-hmm. You have to try that much harder. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that opinion started to shift in 1692 when the magical community had to go into hiding because of the persecution by Muggles. So I feel like that kind of lines up, that when you get later in time and more people are starting to view Muggles in a negative way
Mm-hmm.
because of the persecution they were putting towards witches and wizards, it makes a lot of sense to me that Slytherin has those views already from something significant happening that
Yeah.
involved persecution of Muggles, persecution by Muggles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would think. I mean, again, it doesn't just happen overnight. There had to have been
Something.
extensive traumas going on. But, I mean, that, again, doesn't make it okay. But it would be interesting to know that whole story.
Or to invent it.
Yes.
I definitely want other people to weigh in on this one. It might have to be our Potter pondering. Our Potterheads pondering.
Yes.
What else about Slytherin, Ashley?
Just touching on what you said, it kind of brought me. Do you remember what Hager said? I don't remember when he said it, but something about how even if you're Muggle born, that somewhere down your family line that there was some magic in there and magicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Which came first, the wizard or the Muggle?
Oh,
There was Adam and Eve and Merlin and Steve.
Those are two dudes, Katie. I don't think they were doing a lot of actual reproducing. I'm sure that they could fail at reproducing.
They're
but
magic. We don't know.
pretty sure that babies are still made the same way.
Again.
Nope.
Oh.
Merlin was Eve's side piece.
Oh.
There it is.
Yes.
Absolutely, I will take that.
Blood ain't never been pure.
Yes.
Okay, deal.
Going with it.
But I would think that him being so detached and angry, pissed off at Muggles would probably be normal. But how he felt about Muggle borns was like, what the hell? No, they are magic. They're proving that they're magic, but I think they probably somewhat, maybe not to attack and murk everybody, agree to not like Muggles, especially maybe during that time. But Muggle borns, they would still see them. Everybody else would see them as, still magic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, they are. If you can do magic, you're magic.
Right,
Like,
especially since you have people that can be born into magic families that can't do magic.
exactly.
So-
If the opposite can be true, then yeah, for sure. Then the opposite of that opposite can be true.
It's opposite day.
It's opposite day.
It definitely seemed to skew his line of thinking and send him down a pretty dark path.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think there was a trigger.
There had to have been. Yeah.
Somebody jacked them up. Somebody find us a fan fiction on that.
Or
I'm
write
sure
it.
there is.
Max, do it.
Put it together. So obviously he was, well, maybe not obviously, but we can pretty much say he was a dark wizard.
He definitely had some dark tendencies.
Yeah. Wasn't the latest guy.
And he could speak parcel tongue.
Okay, that was the best sound effect ever.
Excellent.
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 See what I did there?
Yes.
Because I'm a snake.
I'm a snake.
Snake. Wow.
I wonder if being able to speak parcel tongue would not have been considered evil if Slytherin hadn't gone down the path he did.
I mean, I want to say yes, but at the same time, snakes have always been considered to be evil. Like, biblical times, we're talking the snake in the garden, and like it's always been a
that
serpent.
snake totally tempted Eve to eat Merlin.
Or was it Merlin's snake?
Accurate. There it is.
And full circle. But no, snakes have always been considered to be like a sign of evil. And you know what? I don't disagree with that, because anything that doesn't have legs and can still move should not exist. I'm sorry. If you have less than 2 legs and more than 4, I don't trust you. That's
What if somebody lost a leg in a war, Katie?
Okay, you were born like... God damn it. Now you're making me look like an asshole. I don't mean amputees or people that were born with only one appendage.
Katie's showing her Slytherin.
I'm just saying, if that is your, I don't even want to say species, but if that's your species, like, natural state, if that's how every one of your species is born, notwithstanding horrible birthing accidents and wartime injuries, and damn it, Ellen! My point still stands, okay?
Anyway, snakes are evil. Katie's a Slytherin, but doesn't like snakes. Go on.
Okay, Batman doesn't like bats.
Yeah,
Just
but
saying.
he became Batman to face his fear.
Maybe that's what I'm doing, and it's
Has
just
it
taking a
worked yet?
long time. Damn. So judgy.
It's just because I'm in the Slytherin seat.
Oh. I didn't know that this episode was going to turn into Pick on Katie Day. I was not made aware of this.
I'm sorry, it's the Slytherin microphone.
God
I can't
damn
help
it. Yeah, well, fuck you.
But speaking of Slytherin,
He made his own wand out of snake wood, and it said it was basilisk core
Basilisk what?
of the basilisk that he put inside of it.
Basilisk
maybe like the
scale?
venom or...
Oh, venom? Or I was going to say basilisk scale, maybe?
Also, what is snake wood?
I was just thinking that, too.
Because my mind just went somewhere completely dirty.
My mind was already there, but yeah.
You live there, Katie.
do.
It's just...
You know what? My mind may be in the gutter, but I'm looking up at the stars, Ellen.
But I'm like, snake wood. He made it out of Merlin's wand? I'm sorry, I meant Merlin's dick there. I hope that was implied.
Oh, it was. It was. And it's so much better when you have to explain it, too. Yes. But yeah,
I don't know how I feel about Ilvermorny, but that wand was kind of attached to that some type of way.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I don't know a whole lot about the Ilvermorny stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't... it didn't hook me the way the Hogwarts houses do and everything.
Well, we never
but
got books about them.
That's
You
true.
know?
That
It's
is
just
true.
like side information that you had to go do your own research on, and we don't have time to research things outside of our regular podcast episodes. We barely have time to do our
I was
regular
saying,
podcast episodes.
I don't even do that. I literally just woke up and showed up today.
Yep.
Something about the wand was actually planted somewhere on school grounds, and it grew a tree.
Oh,
Interesting.
I'm interested, but not enough to go look it up myself. So thank you.
Anybody who listens to this episode, feel free to do so for us.
Yes.
Find the answers.
Give us a rundown if you want to. Ellen will read it. I might not. She'll tell me about it, though.
Yep.
I am the Ron here, so...
Yep.
Why read when I can just have Ellen tell me?
Why would I read it when I can just ask Hermione?
Exactly.
What else we got about Slytherin?
Well, what intrigued me a lot was that he was awesome at legitimacy and occlumency. I like that stuff.
I like it.
Do it.
It freaks me out.
I wonder if that's why Voldemort was also pretty good at it.
I mean, that would make sense. Like, the whole... He was... I want to
Why
say
did
words,
you just
but they're
turn
not...
into a Wookiee?
because my words aren't wording currently. And I'm having issues. It would make sense. He was a descendant of Slytherin.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You know, it might be somewhat genetic. In Fantastic Beasts, Queenie is a natural Legilimens.
Yeah, I wonder if it's that
So-
kind of thing with Salazar.
Yeah. That would make sense to me, but...
Ooh, speaking on that, what if he is and he just kind of heard everybody talking shit about him when he was little, like all the muggles could hear all they...
Oh.
I know, right?
I really loved that reaction that we just had.
That could definitely feed into a lot of trauma.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because it's one thing... What people say out loud about you is one thing, but if you can hear what's going on in their heads,
Oh,
and they're already saying not nice things out loud,
Yeah.
what are the not filtered ideas that they can't control that are just floating around in their minds?
And when he was a kid, he probably didn't have control over Legilimens
Yeah, he didn't know what
or
to do.
occlumency, so it would just be bombarding him with it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The thick plottins.
We just Barty crouched that. Oh. Ooh.
That's crazy.
kind of jacked up, ain't it?
Very
Little bit.
jacked up. Yeah.
Right. I mean, when you kind of draw some lines to the rationale about why somebody is a jackass, you can get like a little bit of empathy for them, but it's not like an excuse.
Oh yeah.
No, understanding why someone is the way they are can go a long way and maybe supporting them be better.
Yeah.
But if they also don't want to be better, you just understand them and you're like, well, I understand that you suck.
Yeah. Like, I understand the leap that happened. I understand how we got here. But it's still bad.
Yeah. But you're still here.
And
It's still not okay.
you're still an asshole.
Yeah.
But hey, at least I understand why you're an asshole now.
It's like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
And it does sound like he could be quite the asshole.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's Slytherin.
And he actually created basilisk,
He created them.
He created them.
like breeding.
Oh, I did not know that.
Huh.
Which was illegal.
I was saying, I'm assuming that's not a good thing.
Hatched the chicken egg under a toad. Something like that, right?
Yeah, it's a chicken egg hatched underneath a toad.
Maybe he used, like, the eggshell or something when it was first born to make his wand or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you're saying for the core?
Yeah.
I'm thinking he crushed up the egg and formed it into a wand. I don't know what I'm thinking.
No, because...
But yeah, no. To actually put the eggshell in the...
Yeah, maybe that was part of it. There
That's...
had to have been a lot of residual magic to create
Yeah.
an entirely new species from a chicken egg and a toad. Like,
Yeah. It's very interesting.
and you know why roosters probably have a fatal crow for basilisk? It's because those fucking roosters are pissed that they stole their eggs.
Yeah. Right? You know, it's interesting. Because it's almost like he has like a Hagrid trait going on right now. Breeding weird and dangerous animals.
Yeah.
And he was probably like, oh, look, he knows his mummy.
He knows his mummy.
Hello, little basilisk. You know your mummy. Yes. Like, he was probably all about that.
Especially since he could do that. It would be more like...
Right. Exactly. Hiss, 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 motherfucker. Like, yeah.
Hiss, 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 your mummy. Hiss, hiss, hiss.
But yeah, I mean, that's... In a weird way, he's got like a Hagrid correlation going on there. Which I'm sure Hagrid would not be happy to hear about. But...
No. But it does explain how they were easily able to blame him for what
Big
Salazar
facts.
already set up. So
Yeah. That does make sense.
And I think I said this earlier, but it kind of intrigued me a bit for them, you know, since they're childhood friends, all the founders, and y'all know all this about him. Why did y'all include him in this?
You know, maybe it was a case of like, we know that you're evil, so we're gonna keep you close so that maybe you just don't kill us.
he probably hid it pretty well for a while.
Yeah.
He's cunning.
Mm-hmm. That is true. He probably was able to finagle things and come off otherwise. Or, again,
Maybe something triggered the childhood trauma.
what is one fatal human flaw? Everybody thinks they can change somebody.
Yeah.
So it may have just been the other three founders were like, look, I know he's an asshole, but maybe if we use our good qualities and like Care Bear stare at him for long enough, we'll like get the evil out of him, or he won't. Or again, it's like, okay, I know he's evil, but someone's got to keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep him close so we can do that.
It's also entirely possible that the childhood trauma was just sort of
Latent.
subdued
Yeah.
and just sort of suppressed, and something triggered it later
True.
on, and then he just went off the deep end.
That is entirely possible.
It could be, too, that, like you said, there were the witch hunts and the persecution from muggles, and that you think all of the founders shared in that struggle. It could be that everybody kind of felt a little bit weary of muggles,
Mm-hmm.
but they just didn't really voice it out as much.
Yeah.
So maybe they were like, yeah, he's just pretty outspoken, and they didn't realize how bad it was.
Yeah.
Until he really started to be like, no Muggle-borns. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, they're magic. We need to teach all of the magic people.
Yeah.
And it could just be they're like, oh, that's just Salazar. And then they're like, oh, that's not okay, Salazar.
Yeah.
He
Or-
could have, like, slow frog boiled them.
Yes. A little bit, yeah. Or it was a case of maybe he just had like a couple of really bad Muggle-born students. And they were just like, because let's face it, if Snape could have just said, okay, anybody who's gets sorted into Gryffindor gets a one-way ticket back home, because we're not fucking with that, he would have. Like,
Or at the very least, he didn't have to teach him.
exactly, yeah. If he could have said, like, no, I'm not dealing with this right now. I'm not dealing with all of this energy that's going on here. They are too much for me, and I will not be handling it.
Gryffindor energy.
I got Gryffindor energy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you're sitting in the Gryffindor chair.
It's just a, no! You will not change me, Ellen. You might a little bit.
Like most other people, I do think I can change people.
See? That's what I'm saying.
I think it's probably more likely what you said, Ellen, even though I think it would have been cool if he just kind of all up in their brain fucking with him. Because it's kind of what he did by leaving the chamber secrets there on his way out is pretty petty. Kind of like, oh, we're gonna get these Muggleborns out one way or another. But if only he could be alive to see that it only killed one kid. Like, damn, that didn't work at all.
After how many years and you only got one?
Cunning.
Yeah.
Anything to achieve their ends, and whoo.
Talk about a low payout.
Right? Yeah, somebody counted their chicken eggs before they hatched under the toad into basilisks.
I do believe that sums it up right
Yep.
there. Yeah.
Who's next?
Do tell.
Helga Hufflepuff.
And as the hat tells us, you might belong in Hufflepuff, where they are just and loyal. Those patient Hufflepuffs are true and unafraid of toil.
Apparently, they're also excellent finders.
And eaters.
Finder of snacks.
You know, I do have some Hufflepuff qualities, so yeah, there's that.
I was kind of sad that I couldn't find a lot of information on her. Even my trusty YouTube video was kind of lacking.
Like, yeah, she was a person, she did a thing, the end.
Yeah, it was like we got all of the information on Gryffindor because everybody's in that house except for the bad guys or the few side characters that need to push the plot along. And then you got a lot of information on Slytherin because they're the bad guys and you need to explain why they're the bad guys. And then they were like, Ravenclaw's smart. Hufflepuff's nice.
The end.
Yellow and blue. Woo! That was about it. Yep. What did you find out about Hufflepuff?
I found out that she was Welsh, which is cool.
I dig
And
that.
she was particularly good at food charms.
Yeah.
Surprises no one.
Yeah, I found that she was good at charms, like really good at charms, but predominantly used it for food.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And what I found in all these YouTube videos that were just trying to give her some substance because she ain't have any, JK, was that during the time when humans would particularly fall to, like plagues and food poisons and stuff, it's probably food charms is what sustained the wizarding community because it's magically aseptic.
Yeah.
Like you just you up. It's no plague up in here. Magic, bro. During this time, like, yeah, she's just like, the mom. Oh, I just wish they would have added more to her because just like,
It's funny because when I see things like this, I'm like, fuck, maybe I am the Hufflepuff. But you know what? I only really started getting Hufflepuff on like quiz answers when I did become a mom. So I think it's having kids like changes you.
Oh, for sure. It rewires your brain.
Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, it can go with a lot of the traits can go with any of the houses.
Yeah, definitely.
But I did notice that after I had my daughter, I was inching up on like the Hufflepuff percentage. So it's like Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff. And then Gryffindor's 0%.
Yeah,
no
except for
Gryffindor
the
in me.
fact that you are like completely Hufflepuff and you just
I'm
value the traits of Slytherin and that's why you're Slytherin.
You know what? I'm going to take it. Thing is, I also look better in green than yellow. So,
A lot of people do.
yeah. I look better in green and blue. That's just
True.
true.
I was rhyming for you.
Yeah, thanks. Can't be bad if it rhymes.
Anything else about Helga?
Yes, she arranged for the house elves to come and work in the kitchen at Hogwarts, where they can be saved from, kind of jackass masters like
Aww.
the Malfoys and stuff. I thought that was really sweet. They weren't getting mistreated down there. They kind of actually liked being there.
I like that.
Yeah, and they definitely like being there, though it does raise the question of, do they like being there because they've been brainwashed, or is it really that much better and that's just what they like to do? Like, they're caretakers.
Yeah. We've talked about doing a Potterheads about strictly just about house elves. We could go on for hours about
this
house
is
elves.
another episode in itself, but
yeah, it makes sense that Helga would be the one to bring them in.
Yeah, it does. Right by the kitchens, giving him a safe place. She probably feels a lot of connection with them because they prepare the foods and she came up with the recipes.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
I'm willing to bet. I feel like she's the only, or I feel like the house elves are the only creatures, beings, whatever, that she trusts with her recipes too.
Yep.
She's one of those ones that's like, oh, you like my peach cobbler? Well, you can't have the recipe because I'm going to die with that. And she's like, really keeps them close to the chest. But the house elves, she trusts them.
Yep.
Like, listen here, honey. If you're going to cook our food, you're going to do it right.
Mm-hmm. No, I like that. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Dig it. Which, in an interesting way, kind of makes the house elves the most powerful being in the entire castle, really.
They do control the food.
Yep.
I wonder if there were any students that she was ever like, no, get your ass over in Slytherin. You cannot be in my house.
Well, I mean, if they were showing massively Slytherin traits, they'd have been in Slytherin anyway. So there must have been some reason for them to be sent to Helga. Like,
maybe they just wanted to be near the kitchens. And she was like, no. No. Because she did accept the rest.
She accepted the rest.
But if she preferred the good, loyal, honest ones, were there ever kids she came across that she was just kind of like, I don't know about this one. Maybe you should go talk to Salazar.
I feel like because he didn't really like the Muggleborns, he probably missed out on a nice handful of Slytherins he wouldn't have otherwise chosen.
Yeah, it seems entirely possible.
Yeah.
The only thing that I could find on Helga is that her portrait is hanging in the Hufflepuff common room, right by the kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
And in it, she's toasting all of her students with her golden badger cup, which is the same cup that became one of Voldy's Horcruxes. And I just thought that was kind of interesting because I think that every common room had a portrait or something of the founder with that item that Voldy tried to get his hands on. I kind of wonder if he made it into all the common rooms.
I would say he probably, well, he was a prefect, wasn't he?
Yeah, but that would have just been for Slytherin.
Was he head boy? Maybe that would have made a difference.
I don't know if that means they can go in.
I mean, they might. If you have the password, you can go in. And he was cunning enough to where he probably could have gotten the password from anybody. Really.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, he could have
So he
easily
probably
gone in all of the houses and started planning all of that. Oh, I want that one, and I want that one. And
Or he was probably like, huh, that's an interesting photo. That's an interesting painting. I really like that cup. I need that cup. I should find that. That would look great in my home.
I don't think that's what he was thinking. I think he was thinking, that looks like a wonderful magic object that I could use to turn into something dark that'll keep me alive forever and ever and ever because I want to live forever and kill all of the people.
Well, if you want to, like, take it to that level, sure.
Just saying.
I suppose that sounds somewhat plausible as well. I mean, or entirely plausible.
I honestly don't think that Helga Hufflepuff would have looked at Tom Riddle and said, you belong in Hufflepuff.
I don't think anybody would.
I was just trying to bring her back around.
Yeah.
But y'all forgetting that as a child, he was well liked. The only one who really knew he was up to some shit was Dumbledore.
I like to believe that Helga Hufflepuff could have picked up on that too.
Or was she just so goddamn trusting?
Maybe. I don't know. Dumbledore had a little bit more insight since he got to see him in the Muggle orphanage.
Yeah.
And he knew what he had done before.
He knew there was like some sketchy shit going on.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, you're showing some warning signs, sir.
And the other teachers didn't get to see those warning signs.
Mm-hmm.
And Dumbledore is at least decent enough to not be like, just so you know.
Oh, yeah, he's not going to talk shit.
He gave him a real chance to come to the school and be better.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't. But I think Helga Hufflepuff could have picked up on it too. I think she could have.
I don't know. But that's just me.
People always like to underestimate Hufflepuffs.
I'm not underestimating the Hufflepuffs. I'm just saying, like, kind and unbiased, like, they would be the first ones to kind of go, let's give him a shot. Can't be all bad. All he needs is a hug. You know, like, that.
Maybe.
That feels, you know, that's just how it feels to me. But I digress.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, since we have, like, no other information on Hufflepuff, which sucks, who do we got next?
Ashley saved the best in her mind for last.
Rowena Ravenclaw. Or yet in wise old Ravenclaw, if you've a ready mind, where those of wit and learning can always find their kind.
I dig that.
It's pretty cool, ain't it?
And I like to zero in on the if you've a ready mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody wants to put Hermione in Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
And I just don't think she had that ready mind.
Yeah.
I think she liked reading and learning. But I think that if anything challenged her preconceived notions in any way, shape, or form, her mind was very closed off to things like that.
Yeah, she didn't so much have a ready mind as, like, a mind that wanted to learn. There's a word for it, and this is driving me nuts.
She had a sponge mind for soaking up facts.
Yeah.
And retaining them.
And retaining them. Like, she had a sponge.
Yeah.
But when it actually came to learning something challenging and figuring out...
Things were a little too black and white in her mind.
Yes, she was very black and white.
Mm-hmm. It was either you believe in house elf liberation or you don't, and you want them to be kicked and, you know, thrown against walls. It was either... What else? Like,
it was either the resurrection stone doesn't exist or you have to pick up every single rock and check it to prove that it doesn't. Like,
yeah. Exactly.
There was no gray area for her. So yeah, I think describing her as being very black and white is a good way to put it. And I just don't think that Ravenclaws can be black and white. Luna certainly can't be black and white. She's a
No.
fucking rainbow.
Yes. I love Luna so much.
I think she's the best example
Mm-hmm.
of a Ravenclaw.
Yeah. Which is funny because so many people want to put her in Hufflepuff. But no, she's not. I mean, she would have done well in Hufflepuff. Don't get me wrong. She's very accepting.
She would have done well anywhere.
Yeah. But at the
But
same
she
time.
absolutely has that ready mind.
Mm-hmm. And I think you've mentioned before, too, Ellen, that Ravenclaws are also very creative.
Mhm.
Like, that's another trait of the Ravenclaw. It's not necessarily just, like, brainy smart or book smart. It's, like, artistic.
Honestly, I've been
yeah.
saying it in the past several episodes that we've been doing regularly. Like, Hermione is cunning.
Mhm.
She's intelligent, yes. She is
Yeah.
very book smart, but she is cunning.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a little different than witty.
Yeah, definitely.
But what can you tell us about Ravenclaw? Your house.
Yeah.
She's the coolest. Really cool winter tones, blue there.
I love it.
In 10th century Britain, just like everybody else. And she was good as charms as well. I think that's why they had to specify food charms for,
Yeah.
you know.
Or maybe Helga Hufflepuff was like, well, Ravenclaw can do the charms too, so I'm just going to focus on the food and that's going to be my thing.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna tear me apart somehow, okay?
Listen, how about you just worry about the charms and I'll feed everyone?
Yep.
We'll do that. She was totally the one at the study group that came with snacks.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Ravenclaw was the one at the study group that was like, okay, guys, I wrote out an outline and here's what we're going to do, but then gets totally sidetracked on something else as well. Then, like, goes down the rabbit hole of learning.
Yes.
And I love that.
I did find that Rowena had a dream as to where the Hogwarts location should be. Something about a wild boar floating around in a lake.
Huh.
and I brought her to that isolated location by the lake in Hogwarts.
Interesting.
She designed the shifting floor plan, like the rotating stairs and shit.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
that Rowena would be doing that. I didn't see the dream coming. Like,
Maybe she has a little bit of seer in her.
I would say, was Trelawney a Ravenclaw?
Yes.
Well, there you go. That
Wasn't
would go
she?
towards.
I'm not making that up, right? She was Ravenclaw, wasn't she?
I mean, that makes sense. That goes towards ready mind.
Yeah.
Open mind. Open eye. Use your eye to see.
You are in grave.
Right?
There's a wild boar in the lake in grave danger. We must save the warty hog. Oh, this is a good location for a school.
Guys, I'm telling you, there was a boar in danger, and it was right here. I swear, it was right. Hey, you guys, we were looking for a place, weren't we?
Yeah.
Like, hold on. Speaking of, there's. I'm really sorry because you're gonna have to cut this out, but do you see Robin Hood Men in Tights,
Mm-hmm.
where he throws the pig on the table and he's like, the sheriff is like, that's a wild boar, and Robin Hood's like, no, that's a wild pig, that's a wild boar.
I haven't seen it in so long.
Ah.
So we probably had, Helga Hufflepuff with her golden badger cup. And then we had Godric Gryffindor probably holding Gryffindor's sword.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I would imagine that Salazar Slytherin's portrait had him wearing
He
his
would have
locket.
had, he would have been wearing it, which makes sense.
Yeah, and we didn't mention that at all when we were talking about Slytherin. But he did legit have his little locket thing.
I feel like I'm really just stating obvious things right now, and you guys are going to look at me and go, yeah. But Gryffindor had the sword because he likes a fight. Rowena had the cup because she likes to imbibe and eat and drink and things like that. Slytherin had a locket because he needed to keep his secrets.
Headcanon accepted.
And lockets are a good way to keep your secrets.
Yes.
Especially the locket that was made, like, for the movie, for a visual idea. It doesn't look like a locket.
No.
At all. It just looks like a stone or a charm or whatever. So, perfect place to hide your shit.
Yeah. Maybe that's what he used to keep his evilness under wraps.
Yeah. Oh my god!
I like it. So we have talked about the locket, the sword, and the cup. Does Ravenclaw have something along those lines as well? We all know that she does.
Yes. But tell us about her.
She has a diadem that she has enchanted to make the wearer have great wisdom, which is really cool.
See, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I love it. Also, side note, hands up if you didn't know what the fuck a diadem was before you read the Harry Potter series.
Totally had to look that up.
No idea. It was a diadem. What the fuck? Call it a tiara.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a British thing or...
I don't know. Or just an old-timey thing.
Yeah, I definitely had to look that one up.
Yeah. But moving on. That just sounds kind of Ravenclaw-y, too. Just having a totally different name for a relatively common object.
We're going to go with the more pretentious sounding name.
Exactly. Just call it a crown, Miss Thesaurus. Jesus.
It's my diadem. It's a tiara.
It's head bling. That's what it is. Just be honest.
And brain bling.
And brain bling. And bringing the wearer great wisdom. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting enough, she is the only founder that had a child, even though we don't know who her baby daddy is.
Interesting, yeah. I never thought about that.
Never. Maybe it's just like something that was kind of just lost in history because he probably wasn't that important.
True. True. Like, really, Just
As in, deeds that he's done. He's probably, I say he didn't do anything, but
it was just a sperm donor.
Right?
Yeah.
and I honestly think the only reason her daughter is a thing, is because of what she did.
Mm-hmm. How she became the Hufflepuff, or the Hufflepuff. How she became the Ravenclaw ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose name is Helena, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's known that she stole the diadem and ran away to Albania, but I almost 100% believe that it's from, trying to live up to her mother's expectations, from being so smart, so witty, the damn, the house of Ravenclaw. Like, what if she was just regular? And she's like, what if I want to be something else? And she just couldn't live up to it. It's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
You know what I just realized?
What?
I was like, man, Helena, that sounds a lot like Helga. And then I just realized Helena is Helga and Rowena put together. Helena. Helga.
Besties, kind of like how
Yeah.
Salazar were.
Maybe they were more than just besties, and
Ooh.
they just got a spone donor.
What?
A spone donor.
Not important. Let's go.
Let me just try and say it properly.
Yes.
Maybe they were more than besties and just got a sperm donor, and Helena was their daughter.
Right? Or they were both really good at charms. Maybe they figured out a way to charm it, like to charm their own biology somehow.
Weird, but yes, maybe.
They were both really good at charms. That's all I
True.
know.
One more time.
No. I'm so sorry. I'm like so geeked about this right now because
Yeah.
I never thought about it.
No, I like this. And it could also play more into maybe she took a little bit more after the Hufflepuff side, and maybe she got sorted into Hufflepuff house instead of Ravenclaw, but she really wanted to be a Ravenclaw, and that's why she stole the diadem.
Maybe. That's entirely
And that's
possible.
why when she ends up dying, she comes back and gets to be the Ravenclaw ghost.
Yeah.
Finally is in Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
Well, I mean,
It is a
most
sad
ghost
story,
stories
though.
are.
Yeah.
Like, it was already sad, and I just made it a little sadder.
This story has everything. There's
intrigue, there's romance,
violence.
there's violence,
And sadness.
and it has everything. There's Gryffindor and Slytherin. There's bravery and cunning and wisdom and hunger.
Charms.
Oh my god, now I just want the fanfic about this woman. Anyway.
Somebody do it.
Maybe we can get Sarah to do it when she
Ooh.
finishes her series.
Sarah.
Seems like the kind of thing she could do well.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Oh, that'd be really nice.
Yeah.
I would enjoy reading that.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
But it is sad that she steals the diadem and runs away.
Yeah.
Yes, I honestly think her running away is probably like the normal angsty teen thing to do. Like, I hate this. Everybody's just like,
You're ruining my life!
Oh my god, Mom!
it's not like she could go hide somewhere in the fucking school they created. She had to leave.
Yeah.
She had to go outside off school grounds. It would have been nice if she was just kind of hanging out in Hogsmeade, but that's not how it went.
Yeah.
The real fucked up part is that instead of doing anything about it, and yes, I'm talking shit about Rowena, she just kind of kept it to herself. She was so prideful and didn't want to let anybody, know what was really going on. She didn't even share it with the other founders that her daughter was missing.
Which, how did none of them notice?
Well, it kind of makes me wonder if maybe she did this after she left the school, so she was supposed to be leaving and it was easier for her to keep it under wraps.
Maybe.
I also kind of wonder if maybe the founders were warning her this whole time, like, dude, your daughter's fucked up. You need to get on that shit. And she's like, no, she's fine.
Yeah.
She's fine. So she was super embarrassed, like, oh, they were all right. And she's totally stolen my diadem and left me, and now I just have to pretend like everything's fine. No, she's just
Everything's good, yeah.
off traveling the world, and my diadem's in its safe spot in my room,
Right.
and yep, all's good with Ravenclaw.
You know what? We make up a lot of shit just to not hear I told you so.
Yep.
So I can see that very much. Huh.
This is like the kind of craziest thing I would think somebody would try to rationalize, but I don't know. That's kind of weird. Now we all know that she then petitioned the Baron, which my YouTuber said that was on her deathbed. Like
Right.
she was dying when she did. So she literally just was like, my image over my daughter until the last fucking second, and that just kind of pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just like, I really actually want to try and make up with my daughter before I die, and I'm about to die, so hey, Baron, go find her.
Yeah.
Not for the daughter, but for I want to feel better before I leave the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you psycho.
Yeah.
Stalker ass dude. Go find my daughter, who had a very, very unhealthy obsession with her while she was around.
So what was your clue that it was unhealthy? The fact that he was able to find her in general, or the fact that he decided to stab her when she wouldn't come with him?
I mean,
A little bit of column A, a little bit of
little bit
column B.
I mean, yeah.
Jeez.
I don't think he was as black and white as that. I mean, I'm sure there was some nuance to it.
Literally.
Nah, boy was just psycho.
And to be honest, I want to say that maybe if she would have sent anyone else, or maybe would have went to go looking for your damn self, she probably came back. She was probably refusing to go with this crazy psycho, not refusing to come see her mother.
You know what? You're probably right.
Right? She probably didn't believe him when he was like, he tried to tell her, like, look, your mom sent me to come and get you. She knew I'd find you.
That's what my stalker says.
Right? Like, a likely story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just kind of, murks her, stabs her up in a rage of
Sure.
rejection. Fucking toxic masculinity ass shit.
The Baron was an incel.
Oh, definitely. And I can't
Mhm.
even imagine that he killed himself out of any kind of guilt. Like, that was the plan the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was more to not get caught.
Murder-suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not going with me? Taking us both down.
Oh, by the way. By the way. And you know what? At first I was thinking that it was kind of sad that Helena didn't even get to, see her mother as a ghost. You know, and vice versa. But now it's with this little information.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You deserve to see her on your way out. But it kind of would have been satisfying for you to see what you did to your daughter by sending that psycho out there to get her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if she did know. It is possible that if she was still alive when Helena died, did she become a ghost at Hogwarts almost immediately? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
So did she get to go visit her mom as a ghost, and that visit is what really just drove the nail in Rowena's coffin?
It's very interesting.
Yeah, it could go multiple ways.
You know, it could have been that on Helena's deathbed, laying there, all of a sudden she sees the ghost of her daughter. She's like, whoa, shit, okay, I wanted you to come back,
You sent a
but...
psychopath that killed me, Mom. And no, you're not getting your diadem back.
Right? Like, wait a minute, I wanted you to come back, but I thought you'd be, like, more corporeal than this. And she's like, yeah, that's what happens when you send a dude named the bloody goddamn Baron.
To be fair, he was just the Baron then.
Okay, Baron is not a nice-sounding name.
No.
I have yet to read a story where the hero is called the Baron.
I also kind of wonder if he continued to stalk Helena as a ghost, too.
Probably.
Because that would fucking suck, right?
Yeah?
She just got stuck for eternity with the man that murdered her. You think they ever got past that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because wasn't she the only one who the Baron was, like, No, never mind.
We never really found out anything
Never
about
mind.
it.
I feel like it's headcanon, though, that he would be, like, kind of scared of her in death.
I would hope so.
You know, like, because she's got a legitimate gripe against him.
Yeah. And they say that he wears the chains
Yeah.
in penance, but
Whether or not he actually cares is another
right.
story.
I don't know. It'd be interesting
Yeah.
to know more about that.
Huh.
Anything to wrap up Rowena Ravenclaw? Why can't I fucking say that? Anything to wrap up Rowena Ravenclaw?
Just that even though she was very smart, she was kind of dumb at the end.
Yep, smart people can be dumb too.
Yep.
Well, we are really trying to get back on track with our monthly Potterheads a History episode, so thank you so much for joining us for this one, Ashley, getting us back in gear. This is what, the 4th time that we've actually tried to record this episode?
Yeah.
So 4th time is
Starting
a charm.
back in July.
Further back
yeah,
than that.
further back than that,
Because we've been talking about doing this episode, I think, from basically when you became a patron.
Yeah.
And then we got to meet you in Florida, and we were supposed to do it then, but the fucking terrifying thunderstorm had other ideas for us.
Yeah.
With the 7 different restaurants we stopped at, we couldn't get food from.
Yes.
Finally setting
Ended
out
up going to fucking Taco Bell.
Yeah, and then the Taco Bell was out of soft tacos. Like, I don't eat fast food. That is literally the one thing I will ever let myself order from a Taco Bell. I'm like, can I get the soft tacos? We're out of them. What? Finally, eat a fucking bagel. You guys get what you want. I'm pissed.
Oh, that was a night.
Needless to say, by the time we got back to the house that we were renting,
There was
we
no
did not
recording
record an
gonna be
episode.
happening.
So yay, we finally got to do this here. We tried a couple weeks ago, and Katie's health just wasn't letting us do it.
No.
But it happened. We got it done.
Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad we did. It's
Yes,
so good
this
to
was
see
so
you
much
and
fun.
hear you and love you so much.
We're definitely going to be bringing in other patrons to do these with us. So if you guys have ideas, let us know. We also want to make it a point to start posting Potterheads episode related discussion questions on the Facebook patrons only group. Not the chat, the group, so that we can have it easy to access, because we know how things can get lost in our group chat.
For sure. So yeah, since this was Ashley's episode, we've let her come up with the ponderings that we will be posting.
We ended up all kind of coming up with them together while we discussed too, but
Do we remember any of them?
anything jump out at you, Ashley?
What do you guys think about why Slytherin was so obsessed with persecuting Muggleborns, and why were the other founders so accepting of him still?
And also, I would like to know, what are some of y'all's headcanons?
Right? We just word vomited a whole bunch of them. Do you guys have any to add? Feel free to make a post expounding on one of ours or sharing your own, and we can
For
start some
sure.
other discussions, because that's kind of a goal of ours.
Yeah, we love a good headcanon discussion.
Yeah. And Katie's been working really hard to get our Discord up and going a little bit more in
Fully?
depth.
Yeah.
So we're going to have eventually separate channels and stuff, and we'll be able to start moving some stuff over in there to have more discussions happening as well that are a little bit more targeted and controlled of conversations.
Definitely.
But again, thank you so much for joining us, Ashley, and for coming up with this topic. This was great. We had fun talking to you.
Yes.
So much fun.
This was such a good time. I loved it. And thank you to all of our patrons for being so supportive and continuing to listen to us as well.
Yeah, you guys are the ones that keep this going. As long as you keep listening, we'll keep doing it.
For sure.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we're doing our best to get organized and get back to getting you your proper perks. So keep an eye out for next month's Potterheads a History. And don't forget to tune in for the usual episode on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Supposedly, Podbean has fixed the issues, so fingers crossed.
I got my toes crossed too, just in case.
Do you want to say bye or anything, Ashley?
Oh, bye, everybody. Love you guys.
We love you too. Thanks for listening. We hope you hear us again. I'm Katie,
I'm Ellen.
and in the meantime...
Keep calm and carry on.
Oh, for fuck's sake.